Hi guys, hope you're okay. I've got a fantastic classic set to show you today. This is set 6986 and it's the Mission Commander from the original Space Police line, Space Police 1, released in 1989. This set was known as the Space Police Galactic Enforcer, at least in the UK. And according to Brickset, this set has 478 pieces, which seems like a fairly low piece count for such a large set, but typical of these classic sets, not a huge amount of pieces compared to some of the big sets that are released today. It does come with 3 minifigures, 2 Space Police minifigures, and you get a Blacktron minifigure, which I guess you can use as a baddie, as a prisoner. So I'll just quickly show you this because it's fantastic how they used to do these old sets. This just lifts up and there you got all bits and bobs all nicely sealed in there. Like I said, this box isn't perfect, but just to have a box and have that in a tray for these old sets adds so much value. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time now building this up. I'm going to enjoy building this up. It's a long time since I built this set. And then we'll show you everything it can do. We'll show you the minifigures. It does have a pretty cool transforming feature, which I'll show you. So back in a few seconds and we'll show you it. So guys, here's our finished model. This is a fantastic looking ship. Love the colour scheme. Love the colour scheme of Space Police 1 anyway, but it's a pretty good sized ship. This lovely blue and the trans red, it just really pops. You can see side on view, it's quite big to get in shot, but it's quite chunky at the front. Almost looks kind of shark-like with these ribs down the side. I'll show you the little cool play feature of that in a minute. Side on view. Very sleek looking ship. And these big wings. I'll just try and get this onto the bigger tripod so you can see this a bit better. Okay, there we go. So you can see the big ship now. You can see it's got all these legs underneath, landing legs. And then totally different profile side on. Very, very sleek looking, very cool looking. Now, on the back, so you've got these, I guess they're weapons blasters that fold up. So you can tilt them up like this. Totally different look to the ship. But also this is to do with the mechanism, the locking mechanism. So when you lift these up, you can then slide these parts out, just like that, either side. And that then enables you to be able to remove the whole rear section, like this, which I'll show you in a minute. You can then fold this back in, fold these down. And you get a totally different sort of smaller looking ship, but still pretty cool looking. You've also got on the sides, these parts that lift up, one on either side, and then there's another very small little flying machine on the side of there. Show you those in a sec. They just clip on there and that hideaway, pretty cool. And then you've got the little boosters on there which double up as boosters for the ship. I'm going to show you the rear pod. So this is our rear prison pod. We've got a little radar dish on top that spins around. These really cool radar pieces. These amazing sort of corner panel pieces. This blue does start to fade after a little while, but these are still in pretty good condition. You see this one's starting to go a little bit yellowed. And this whole rear section opens up. It gives you access inside there. Not an awful lot going on, to be honest. And these pieces are starting to get a bit wobbly and a bit loose now, but either side you've got 2 of these police cells. I'll just pop one off to show you. Just have this as like a little sort of separate base. And these are universal throughout the whole Space Police theme, so they're all the same. You can interconnect these with different ships. Love how they've used these red neon pieces, red trans pieces rather, just as like laser beam bars. Nice printed Space Police signs on the side. It just lifts up and you get your Blacktron minifigure. Sling him in there, and there he is in prison. I love how these connect as well. You've probably shown this before in one of the other Space Police sets. It's got these modified 1x2 pieces with the hooks on, and just 1x4 tiles, and we've got a modified 2x2 piece over there, and they just hook on. Really, really simple, but very, very clever piece of use of that piece. So this is a nice bonus. You can have that as a little sort of separate little Space Police base while the big ship flies away. Again, we'll just fix this back on. It's just connected by a Technic pin. Simple as that. Go, nice Space Police logos on here as well. All lovely stuff, loads of trans red. Really cool. I'll show you the small vehicles, and I'll show you that operating of this little mechanism first. So I'll try and show you how this works. This would have worked far better back in the day, but you got this little round 2x2 brick. Yeah, and that works the little ratchet system. And sometimes this works perfectly, sometimes it doesn't work at all. But the idea is that you turn this knob and it then spits this little rover out the front. It's where your pilot sits. And then you should be able to just take this back in. Like that. The parts are getting old now. Like I say, this would have worked far better back in the day, but it's a pretty cool play feature. Just lift that whole nose cone up like this. It lifts up quite a long way. And you can roll this out. And the problem with this, the main problem with this is, you can see inside there, those hinge pieces are just attached onto that 2x2 plate. And you can see how the parts are starting to come apart. Very clever, very intricate system, but it does tend to come apart after a little while, especially with old pieces. They've lost a lot of their clutch power, but very cool play feature. There we go. These are a little spacecraft that just pop off the wings there. Very, very simple, but I guess you can just fly away on these. You get two of those, one on either side. Just a nice little bonus extra thing, I suppose, that they give you. Just to show you our little rover as well that comes out of the front of the ship. You can connect one of the Space Police cells to the back of it. There you go, and just drive that around. It's a bit back heavy, just feel like it wants to tip up a bit, but okay, it's not bad for a little rover. And you can drive your prisoner off to, I guess, the big police station base. Do love how they did this, very, very clever. Very simple, but very, very clever, and it works perfectly. So here's our minifigs. Two identical space policemen on the left and a Blacktron man on the right. I guess the Blacktrons were the baddies in classic space, but lovely figures, lovely trans red visors on these guys. Basically just Futuron figures. I've swapped a few parts out. Just got a regular smiley face for our Blacktron figure. Nothing on the backs of these. But I do like the print on these Blacktron figures. I love the fact that you close up these black helmet visors back in the day, and they looked suitably menacing, much more so than the Blacktron 2 figures. So wonderful as this set looks, I think my biggest gripe with it really is it's pretty fragile. A lot of places, there's places where you'd expect that they would probably just put a few more parts just to make it a bit more solid. I know it's an old set and this mechanism's probably got a bit worn over the time, but still just seems really, really fragile. These rib pieces as well, until you've got everything else fixed on top, it's quite difficult for them to stay in place properly. So quite a difficult build and quite a sort of annoying build in a way. And then you've got to just make sure you've not missed anything and got it exactly right for that mechanism to work. And a lot of the parts do just kind of come apart while you're building it. Also, there's so much wasted space in here. So you've got your little cockpit at the front, and then all of this is just nothing. It's just all taken up by this mechanism for this ejector sort of system at the front. It's nice to get that big pod at the back. It's nice to get the two little winglet sort of flying machines. Looks fantastic, especially from this view. I think it's certainly a looker, but it's not the best design in the world for classic space, for me. So here's our instruction booklet. It's a big sort of A4 size book. It folds out this way. So here's our figures. And you build the little rover, the little wing flying little mini things first. Almost like personal sort of rocket boosters. And the two prison cells. And you start building the ship up, and it's quite a fiddly build. You've got to really make sure you don't miss things with these old instructions. It doesn't tell you which parts to use each step, all the way through to our final build. And there's a couple of nice pictures on the back here. See the company that printed the instructions as well there. A couple of nice little scenes showing a couple of features of the ship. I'll show you the box because some alternate builds. This box, unfortunately, has seen better days. It's still not bad for its age. Where you see there's some quite considerable creasing on the front of it. Has slightly faded in the sun as well. You do have that wonderful opening top flap. Lucky enough to have all the plastic inserts. We've got some really cool little scenes on here. Here's an alternate build. A couple of nice pictures. Kid from the 80s playing with a set, and there's another scene with the big set on it as well. And just that opening mechanism. If we look at the back, there's some more alternate builds. So we've got a really cool looking space base here. There is a larger Space Police set, not larger than this set, but a big Space Police set that's quite rare. I think it was a limited release. So it'd be pretty difficult for me to find that one, but this is quite a cool little base you can build with a little rover and another really nice looking ship. And again, another nice looking ship here. And a small some sort of walker. I really like this big robot thing. This is cool. That looks really nice. And then we've got this one. Some of these alternate builds are really good looking. I really like this one because they've made 3 ships out of it here. This main big ship looks really cool. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Quite a long one, but it's quite a big set, a lot to go through. Again, love this set. Love how it looks. It looks fantastic, but probably not my favourite in terms of the build, and in terms of the fact that quite a lot of the pieces are quite easily sort of broken off. But again, it's due to it being an older set. Looks fantastic. I'll do another vintage video for you guys very, very soon. Maybe a castle set or a pirate set, maybe even a town set. But look out for something coming very, very soon. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the channel for more. Hit that notification bell. In future videos, you know, you'll be able to get them straight away. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Whatever you're doing for the rest of the weekend, guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you again really, really soon.